Hello and welcome to my kitchen. My name's Enzina and I'm a Thermomix consultant. The reason for my purpose of this video is that you have just received your beautiful TM6 and you've unpacked it, and what I'd like to do is just go through everything with you so that it makes you more easy for you to start with the process of using your machine. So first of all, I'd like you to start with your cookie dough and set up an account if you haven't already done so. And please be a little bit careful that you do join Cookie Dough Australia and no other country, otherwise it won't set up to your machine properly. So that is the first thing. Also, that you have Cookie Dough app on your phone, which actually looks like this. A nice little app. That is what the app looks like, which is that one there. And that gives you all the recipes identical to what you already have on your machine. So once that is all done, you're all ready to go with being able to use Cookie Dough, which is our recipe platform. I'll just quickly show you also, while we're on the topic of Cookie Dough, how to search for recipes if you already haven't done this. We're wanting to make a wagon wheel slice. Just I think it's called wagon wheel, gosh, and it's a little bit hard because I'm doing it this way. Here we go, wagon wheel slice, search, and here it comes automatically for you. And then you can start cooking. I don't want to go too much into Cookie Dough because this is not the purpose of this video. That is something else that we can do at a later stage if that's what you want. Okay, so let's go to our little home. And this is where it shows you all your manual modes and the home of seconds and minutes and seconds. That is your timer there. That is your heat. It does go 37, 40, 45, 50. It goes right up to 120, and then we hit Varoma. Okay. You can also just pop out of that by hitting it, which it's not going to let me do it for some reason, maybe because. Anyway, we will do this other one here, sorry. This is your speed function, which gives you lots of different settings to chopping and all sorts of things with that. You can reverse the blades so that nothing gets chopped up. You just hit the little green button to take it back to the sharp side of the blades. On the other side here, we do have our manual modes, which we can use. The scales, which are in 1 gram increments. Maximum weight is 6 kilos, so that is a lot. That is your next. I have the dough function. You can do them, alternate them how you want, but this is how I prefer to have my modes. So you just put the timer on if you're using this manually, and then hit that, and it will automatically just start to knead your dough to make pizzas and breads and everything like that. All right, back we go to our pre-clean. Now it is a pre-clean. I do like to just use it as a pre-clean. If it needs a bit more washing, well then I just do it by hand. However, all of our components are dishwasher safe, so you can put them in the dishwasher if that's what you'd like to do. So you have dough function. My personal, this is what I prefer to do, that if I'm doing dough and I'm using the dough function, I've made dough in the bowl, I like to just put cold water in it. It will heat it up a bit, because if you put hot water in it, it will make it more stickier, and it will stick more to the blade. So that's my own personal preference. Universal, which is just your standard, you know, if you've made something just that's not overly dirty, just go to universal. Fatty and caramelized, you then would choose to do that, or if you're browning and being using the high heat function, would use that function there. So that is our pre-clean. Blending mode is for shakes and things like that, and that makes beautiful smoothies. Turbo, I do use that sometimes. It just depends what, if I'm making cakes and I decide that you don't have to sieve, so I just hit the turbo and it just blends it all up for me. The egg boiler mode, that is amazing. That just tells you what you want to do with it. You have soft, medium, medium soft, medium hard, and hard, and they come up beautifully. I've had a lot of people say to me how great it is with the egg modes. Thickening mode is great for your custards. Fermentation is amazing to make your own yogurts. Rice cooker, honestly, you don't need a rice cooker anymore. You've got it all in your Thermomix. Slow cook, you can do your braising in that. Sous vide, which is our water bath function, warming up. Some people don't even own a microwave anymore. They warm their food up in there. And also a kettle mode, which is great. The peeler mode, you do need to have a peeler, which I haven't brought up because it actually doesn't come with your machine. But that is all of the functions that are on the machine, which is amazing. I can show you, if you like, if you edit, and you can actually move your items how you want to do it. So if you want to, you can flick them around and then you would just save. But as I said to you, I'm not going a lot onto, this is mainly just to show you, it's a quick, just to show you video. And next, what I'm going to show you is all of the components in the Thermomix. So I'll take that off. So this is our jug, and that's where our blades are. Now, when you first get your machine, the blade will be really, really stiff and hard to undo. As you go, as you use it a lot more, it does become a lot looser and easier to use. To take the blades off, I always pick them up from this part here. You can see that part there. And then to pop them back in, I just pop that in there. There we go. My way of doing it, because I've got small hands, this is how I do it. I will get the base of the part that belongs to the jug and swing it across to that. There is your little, don't know if you can see it, the little symbol there for heat, and that is my guide to where I measure it, line it all up. You can see that, line it all up. Not really, not very good at doing this. There it is, there's a symbol, and then I flick it towards me, and that's where your blades are all in place and ready to go. As I mentioned before, this is all dishwasher safe, or if you're washing by hand, please be mindful about the pins. They need to be dry. If you've washed it and it's submerged into the water, please make sure that they're dry. Maybe not even inserted into the machine for about 5 minutes, but please make sure, because you are connecting to power. This is the actual lid to the jug and our measuring cup. Measuring cup also does have 50 to 100 mils, so you can actually use that as a measuring cup as well, but it does actually sit on top so that the food doesn't splat out depending on what speed and pre-cleans and things like that. Our whisk. Now the whisk is a little bit delicate. Now you do use a whisk for when you're making whipping up cream or making your butter, and it does specify that it's not to go above speed 4, because as I said, it is a delicate little it's like a butterfly. So it is delicate. So speed 4, no more than speed 4, otherwise it will break. All right. And this is how the only way I can describe it. There is a higher point of one of the blades. You can see it is this one that sticks up. It's a higher one that sticks up. And I actually set it behind that and then turn it to the left. All right. And it'll stay in place. As you can see, it won't lift. To release it, I just turn it to the right and it comes off. All right. So the higher blade, it's got the higher knuckle on it, is the only way I can describe it, to put that in. All right. Our next item I'm going to show you, there is sometimes where if you're using, and it'll only be with cookie dough recipes, high heat function, the machine will ask, or the recipe will ask, to make sure that you do put that on, and you do have to say done. And it actually just sits on top of the lid. Please make sure that you take that off. The measuring cup, you take that off, set that on, and then once the arms come on, it will lock and that won't move. All right, I'm not using it, so it does come on, but that is the splash guard. So when a recipe asks for, a splash guard, this is the splash guard. All right, spatula. There is sometimes when the recipe will ask for to scrape down your bowl or scrape the bowl down. That is what you would use, and it's that way. All right, so scraping down the bowl. When you're using to take food off the blade, I always say go behind the blades, because that's the blunt side of the blades, not the sharp side. So go behind the blades. All right, now while we're on the topic of the spatula, I'm going to also talk about our simmering basket. It does have a lid on the simmering basket. Pops into your, now with the simmering basket, sometimes I did mention that there is the rice cooking mode, but you can also cook your rice in here. You can steam vegetables in here. You can use it for a lot of things. Calendar, people now no longer have a calendar, and you could use to strain some food depending on the size. It sits just nicely in the bowl. Right, there it is there. And of course, once you've been cooking with the cooking whatever you've been cooking, whether it's been steaming rice or vegetables, see the little hook here? You pop that into, actually, let me start again. There is a tiny little hole. Now, if I turn it that way, you can just see that little hole there. So that you don't burn yourself, you will pop the spatula with the hook and pop that in there. And you can also rest the spatula on top of the little groove on your bowl, and that will let the water drain. And then you can also just flip that over like so. And if you've got putting your rice or your food into a bowl, you can easily just tip it out. But that is the way. Please don't try and take it out with your fingers, because it's extremely hot. So that is the help of the spatula for the simmering basket. All right. So we also have the Varoma. So you'll hear, or you'll have some recipes with Varoma, which is amazing. This actually sits on top of the lid, and there's one is a Varoma dish, which sits on top of the jug. And please make sure that the lid is on there. Don't try and do it without the lid. And then we have the Varoma tray. So that sits on top as well. And that's just your lid, the Varoma lid that goes on top. And that is for your steaming. It's amazing. And you can cook so much. You know, you've got 2.2 inside of your jug, and then this is on top as well. So that's about 3 litres as well. So that's a lot of food that you can cook. Please keep in mind that when you see the green lights, that is fine, especially if you have young children. Once this hits 60 degrees in heat, that will turn red. So you know that then it's not so safe to be touching it. And as I said, please be mindful when you have young children. All right. Now, something else that the machine does come with, and that is your basic cookbook, which you will also find on your Cookie Do collection. But this is an amazing book, and especially the resources at the beginning of when you receive your machine. You know, you are using a lot of guided cooking, but when you want to then start using your machine manually, this is a really great guide, you know, for chopping functions, grating, milling, grinding, steaming functions, and it just gives you a guide. So this book, I really love it. I will admit that when I first got my machine, I didn't use it as much, but then I don't know, it just all clicked, and yes, it is really helpful. So that is just something that I thought I would also mention for you. What else is there for me to tell you? Now, the scales are underneath. So if I can just lift, and you can see that there is 3 feet under there, that is where your scales are. And your machine is not to be dragged. I do have mine sitting on a glider board, which is being approved by Thermomix, that we can use the slider, the sliders. But if you don't have one, and not everyone has one when they get their machine, it is an extra which is available on the mix shop. You are not to drag your feet, drag the machine, purely because you will wreck the actual scales underneath. So please lift, don't drag. So I hope that this has been helpful. It's only a very short video just to help you to start off on your Thermomix journey. Always, as a consultant, we are here to help you along the way. So please, if there's anything I can help you with, don't hesitate in contacting me. As I said, my name is Enzina. I have been appointed to be your Thermomix consultant, and that is the purpose of me doing this virtual delivery. It is a very short delivery, but I hope that you've enjoyed it. I hope that this has been helpful, and please reach out if there's anything else I can help you with. Thank you.